Hi there, my name is Jameson Shalene, and this is my painting. I want to tell you the story of my painting because I'm not a good enough artist to completely say what I needed to say in the image. What I was trying to do with this piece was I have always grown up, and so first of all, I'm not a Bible guy. I'm not a I don't go to church or, any of that kind of thing. I dig Jesus. I seriously dig Jesus, but I wouldn't, it would be not quite true to say I was Christian. I suppose it would be not quite true to say I wasn't, but if Christian means I dig Jesus, then yeah, I dig Jesus. But like all that other stuff that's involved, that's tied to all that, then I'm not concerned about. At any rate, I made this painting. So I had grown up looking at all the art, classic artists and all that, and just always noticing how white he was, and that bugged me. And then when I was young and I found out about the Shroud of Turin in Italy, which is believed to be the shroud. Some people believe that it's the shroud that Jesus was buried in, and it is a cloth. It's a large strip of cloth with Jesus's with. It's a large strip of cloth with an image, front and back, of a man who bears a striking resemblance to Jesus. People claim it is the death shroud of Jesus, and there's a huge problem. There's a huge controversy. It's been raging for like 70 years now about that, about whether or not that's authentic or not. I've been researching it for a long time, and I come to the belief that I believe that it was the shroud of Jesus, or you know, I just probability from my evidence, and I looked into it really thoroughly, and that's part of how we came to this is reading books, and I just I'm not a weirdo, but I've been kind of obsessed with this image because I really would love to know what Jesus looked like. That I've always wondered what he looked like. And I've seen all these other different images. I've seen some where Jesus looked like Barry Gibb. I've just seen him just interpreted so many times, and I didn't want to make another painting of another self-portrait of me as Jesus. Like, how many times have we seen that, right? Didn't Gauguin do that enough? I wanted to see his face, and the only way to see it on the Shroud of Turin, the shroud can't be seen of its own accord. It has to be turned inside. Like you have to reverse. You have to see it in negative. It's a negative imprint. So like you take a picture of it, and then when you invert the positive and the negative, then you have a nice strong image of him. And it's surprisingly detailed. And I was watching a documentary one time about these people who were using digital scanning technology, and they had scanned the Shroud of Turin, and they believed that they were able to pick up plenty of three-dimensional information, and then they were able to create a 3D model of what Jesus. Sorry, I gotta stop saying that. A 3D model of whomever was in the shroud, right? They could create a 3D model of whoever was there, and then that allowed them to do more forensic studies on the body, and just take a look at everything all around. And when it came out, it was astounding. It was truly astounding that we could do that. I was just dumbfounded. And then when they did the reconstruction, and then they did the kind of the repainting of the face, I wasn't very thrilled with the digital artist, and maybe I don't know if it was more difficult at the time, or if it was just more expensive, or if that artist was under a time limit. I just felt like it could have been done better. And I'm not slighting the dude at all. It's amazing what they did. But when I saw that, I was like, I understand why I'm obsessed with the shroud, and like this is my best chance of seeing what Jesus was like. Like this is the best probability that I can get for seeing that dude's face and like him, love him, hate him, whatever you feel about him. That guy has really influenced all of us in a big way. So knowing what he looked like seems really important to me. And I thought, then I will repaint him. I'll redo that. I'll use the work that they did as a basis, right? Because I'm a portrait artist, so I'll do a portrait of the 3D model they used to help me, and also I used the negatives for proportion and all that stuff. The negative Shroud of Turin images. Just for accuracy. I wanted to make sure this was very accurate, and I'd done many years of research. So then I wanted to, after reconstructing the face, and I wanted to make sure that I checked the facial structure to make sure it was consistent with Middle Eastern type facial features in general, just kind of a general thing. Because I'm very aware that he was Jewish. The guy was Jewish, and he's not. He shouldn't look like he's Norse. That's freaking weird. I mean, he transcends all that, sure, but whatever. Like that's just weird to me. So I wanted to make sure that was correct. So there were adjustments done that way, and I wanted to make sure that I used appropriate color palettes for Middle Eastern skin tones, and for a guy who is out in the sun, right? The guy was out in the sun a lot, so this was going to be. I wanted to make sure was a swarthy dude, and so I tried to use those color tones, which works well because it gave me a nice even color tone with the beard and hair color. So it worked out real well with a nice, an olive undertone, which green's kind of my thing. I love the green. If you notice, there's actually quite a bit of green going on here. And at any rate, so I wanted to make sure I had all of that together, the skin tones. I didn't want to be like one of those, 1800s Orientalists who, their skin tones are just, like. Have you ever seen somebody of a different skin tone? I mean, I'm not slighting those artists, but sometimes they were just painting, and they had never seen what that person looks like. So I wanted to make sure I had that correct. The facial, the hair was kind of difficult to figure out because obviously was pressed down by the shroud, and so fluffiness, fullness, all that. So there was a lot of that going on. But I'm rambling a little bit here. And I didn't add any wounds or any blood or anything like that. Once I had gotten, and I'd just done a basic portrait of him, he just kind of looked, just like a guy who's sleeping, who was beat up pretty bad. And I was like, well, that doesn't really make. I need to do more. So, and I also kind of wanted to, in a weird way, kind of bring him back to life, not in a Lazarus sort of way, but like, so I put some reds in there, to kind of bring out some of the, make him look a little more alive. And I add, the purple tones for the purple and blue tones for the injuries there. No, I wasn't trying to ham them up. I'm not trying to do a Passion of the Christ thing. I'm just doing what I saw and just trying to depict it somewhat accurately at this moment. Because whoever this person was, even if he isn't or wasn't Jesus, he was somebody who went through something and deserves to be valued for that. And he's helped a lot of people with their faith. And that's amazing. So, like, he's really important, whoever this person is. Any rate, so I wanted to treat it real well, and I wanted to make it more like he was sleeping than he was dead. Then after, by the time I had gotten all that point, he just felt a little, it just felt a little small. So I decided to add the halo, the auras there. to, kind of not to like hammer the point home or anything, but it, just kind of weird to just like, oh, here's my painting of a beat up guy sleeping. Like, like I needed to give a little more to it. And those green tones with that opposing light, I can see that it ended up kind of looking that he looked like he has more lighter tan tones, but I worked through several different colors to get to those tones, and I wasn't making him purposefully in any way European. I was just trying to make whoever was in the Shroud of Turin, and it all seemed to match up with kind of Middle Eastern appearance, and a lot of the other things added up as well. So that's what I was trying to do. I guess I didn't really quite get there. Maybe with all the extra added layers. I painted this a couple years ago, so certainly my my color struggles are real. But that's I just wanted to put that out there and tell you the story of this painting, how it was supposed to not be another painting of a white Jesus. I hope you enjoyed that. I have plenty of art on my website at www.jamesonshalene.com. There's plenty of landscapes and portraiture and all that. You can check it out if you like. I don't have anything in the shop or anything. Just lots of interesting, I think, interesting variety of artwork. Maybe check it out. Maybe not. All right. Thank you. Bye.